everyone, my name is Chelsea and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are doing July's TBR to be rolled. So this is my TBR game that we've been playing since the beginning of 2022. I will leave the playlist and January's video specifically listed down below because that is where you'll find all of the rules. However, basically we just have my toddler's colored die, and each color corresponds to a different way of picking my book. We are going to be going over last month's, so June's reading first, before we get into the actual rolls and everything. And I will say I am filming this a little bit earlier than I normally would, because by the time you see this video, when I have this plan to go up, I have less than a week left until I'm supposed to give birth to this baby. So I am just trying to pre-film some stuff, make sure everything is going up when it needs to go up, so you guys have videos. Very exciting stuff, but also means that I don't know exactly how much stuff I'm going to be reading in July, because I'm supposed to have this baby at the very end of June. That also means I haven't been doing the best with my reading goals for this month either. Like I said, we're a little bit early, but so far out of the 5 ebooks that we have picked, because we did an exclusively ebook TBR, I've read 2. I read the graphic novel that I picked, and I read the manga that you guys voted on, and then I'm in the middle of one of the actual books. So I'm halfway to where I need to be by the end of this month if I was going to complete the TBR. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's where we are currently. Now, I mentioned in last video that I was going to be doing an exclusively ebook TBR again because of the fact that I know for a fact I will not be able to hold a physical book and a newborn at the same time. So if I'm expecting to get any reading done, which when I had Presley, the month I had him, I got no reading done whatsoever, not even a single page. So if I'm expecting to get any reading done, it has to be ebooks. Also, July is the second round of the Indie Accords. So the Indie Accords is created by Lana from Lauren Lullabies. I will leave her channel and videos and everything linked down below. And last year, I got to be a team captain / host for this readathon. Obviously, I'm way too busy to do anything for that now, but I am hoping to participate. So I have picked a team to be on. I'm on the team, I think the Independent Kitties. I know there's a whole thing in the Discord right now going on between the other 2 teams, the Narwhals and the Knights. They have a really fun, rivalry thing going on, and us kitties are just sort of on the side, you know, like cats, watching the drama go down. But I literally picked this team because it has cats. I have 5 cats myself, and so obviously I had to pick it because it had cats. But also their focus is on more romance and stuff like that. You don't have to read the genres that the teams are focused on, but that's sort of how they're split up. They're split up sci-fi, fantasy, romance, contemporary, historical, which I don't read, but you know. And then the last team is more of the darker side, I think, of sci-fi, fantasy, horror, dark stuff. So yeah, I picked kitties. We do have a bingo board for prompts, so I actually think we're going to do our 5 rolls like normal, but I'm going to pick a book for every single prompt. Now, for this readathon, we actually can double up on prompts, or triple up, or however we need to do it to complete the bingo board, which is good for me because I don't think I'm going to be reading, I think it's 8 books plus a free space in the middle sort of thing. I'm not going to be able to complete 8 whole books that are exclusively indie or self-published in the month of July. But a lot of the books that I want to read for this readathon can double up or even triple up on some of these prompts. So what we'll do is, like I said, we'll do the 5 rolls with the die. I will pick books out for those roles specifically, and then I will also pick out books for the rest of the prompts we did not complete with the rolls. But if I don't get to all of them, I do have books that can double and or triple up. So I think that'll be fine. Yes, I think that's what we're gonna do. So I guess quick rundown on the dice before we go out and do our rolls. Red is for who gets to pick my book. It used to be just Presley, but I do have some cards where it means it could be Presley picks a book, my husband picks a book, a friend picks a book, viewers pick a book. We shall see. Orange is for my TBR bucket. Yellow is for card prompts that are dealing with like format of book, age group of book. Green is going to be other prompts, but these are more like challenge cards. Blue is going to be for a poll pick, and purple is a wild card where if I get a purple, I can pick any other color to do, but it's like my choice of what color it is. And because we are going to be focusing on ebooks, but more specifically self-published or indie published books, if I get any sort of prompts or anything where it says to read a physical book, I'm not going to do that. If it says a prompt that is to read a traditionally published book, I'm not going to do that. I can veto those kind of things just because I know for a fact I won't get to them this month. So yeah, I think that is everything. Like I said, we're going to do our 5 rolls first, and then we will also complete the TBR bingo board for the indie accords. Oh, what color? Green. Good job. Okay, so our first roll is green, which means we're going to be using some cards to pick a challenge that we have to fulfill. So these are the cards that I have here. I'm going to be shuffling them up and picking one. Presley was in the video for the rolls, but he does not really want to be in here filming on this part of the camera, so we're not going to make him. He might join us later, you never know, but that means I'm going to pick a card. He normally ends up picking from either the top or the bottom of the stack, which means I can go through the middle, even though I definitely did shuffle as well. So we shall see. I do like the idea of these cards for this sort of readathon that we're going to be doing, especially since I'm planning on only doing like ebooks and that kind of thing, because then I sort of can fulfill the card as best I can, but with an indie or self-published ebook. So, cards. I'm not looking at what they say on there, but I'm just going to like reach into like the middle of the stack. And adaption. I don't think that's going to work because I don't think any like indie or self-published book that I own has been adapted into like a TV show or a movie. I know that there is one, I think, being worked on through Peacock, which I don't have as a subscription. I don't even know if it's out yet, but it's also a book series that I don't have. So we're going to skip past that card for now, pick another one. Let's see. Okay. Reaching into the stack. Again, I just picked out this card here. A wild card. Okay, so for this one, this means I can pick whatever book I want. So, yeah. Okay, so with the bingo board that we have for the Indie Accords Readathon, I think I'm going to just pick one that I have options for almost every single one, because I mentioned earlier that I have books that I want to read that I can literally like double up or triple up on these prompts. So I think what I'm going to do is pick a book that I feel like only maybe fits like 1 or 2 prompts, one that I think might not come up in subsequent rolls of the dice, and do it that way. So I think we're going to start with the very first prompt, which is to read a host favorite. The reason I'm picking this one is because we have multiple hosts for this readathon. However, a lot of the host favorites are not books that I currently own as an ebook, or they're ones that I don't really feel like the genre is something that I want to currently read. So like the hosts that are part of the like Dark Knights that have more of the darker horror books, I'm not really into that right now. So I think what I'm going to be doing is reading The Longing of Lone Wolves by Lana Petrovic, which is actually one of Ellie's favorites, who is actually one of the team captains hosts of the Independent Kitties. So they're also in my team, and I just feel like this is something that I should definitely do. This I don't know too much about, but it is going to be written by, I believe, an Australian author, and it's going to deal with fae. I think it is a romance or a fantasy romance, which I am into, and so yes, I think this is the one that we're going to go with. What color?
Yellow.
Yellow. Okay, so roll number 3 was a yellow. I'm very proud of Presley for deciding that he wanted to do some rolls today by himself. Made it much easier on me. So yellow is going to be more cards. Different cards, but cards. As I'm shuffling, I'm hearing my kid come in here. He must want to help. What, baby? Do you want to help me pick?
Yellow.
Yes, he definitely wants to help pick yellow cards. So again, I'm going to shuffle them a little bit. Can you guys see him sort of hanging out on the screen over here? Okay, you're gonna help me pick cards?
Yeah.
Okay, yellow cards. Which one do you want to pick?
This one.
That one there? Okay, can you grab it? And then show the camera?
Yeah.
Okay. Show the camera. A manga! That's not going to work. I don't think I have any indie or self-published manga, so we're gonna try this again. Shuffle a little bit again, just because I know he's gonna pick top or bottom. And are you ready to help again? You gonna pick again?
Red.
Oh, we're not doing red, we're doing yellow. Come here. We're gonna do yellow again.
Yellow is then.
Yeah, yellow again. Okay, ready? Okay, here. Which one?
This
The one on the top again. Okay, pick it up and then show the camera. Ready? Show the camera. What card is it? Oh, he's going so slow. Sci-fi. Okay, we can do that.
Sci-fi.
Good job, sci-fi. Okay, so for the sci-fi one that I'm going to go with Renegade Love by Anne Aguirre. So Anne Aguirre is an author that sometimes does traditional books but also does indie books, and this is the third book in the Strange Love series. I read Strange Love in 2020, absolutely fell in love with it, 5 out of 5 stars. I read the sequel Love Code last year, like 4 out of 5 stars, mostly just because I think it was the fact that we had two different sort of like alien, non-human like characters in this sci-fi romance, and so it was something that I had to like really wrap my head around a little bit more. But in Renegade Love, the third book in this series, we are going back to a like human alien romance, and so I feel like that's going to definitely be something that I really want to read. I like having a human character to sort of attach to for a lot of this kind of stuff, but Strange Love, absolutely loved. 5 out of 5 stars. There was a talking dog in that one. I don't think we're gonna get a talking dog in this one, but it was really good, really humorous, very sweet romance, but also a little bit steamy. And so yeah, this is the third book. It's a sci-fi romance. I love sci-fi, I love romance, and so yeah, I'm gonna have to go with this one. And I should say, because I definitely did not say it as I was rambling a little bit about Renegade Love, I'm using this book for the prompt of a 5-star prediction, because I gave the first book in this series 5 stars. I gave the second book 4 stars like I mentioned, but I have a full feeling that I'm going to love this book as much as the first one, so I do think this is going to be a 5-star read. I'm very, very excited.
Mommy roll.
Mommy roll?
Yeah.
Ready?
Okay.
What color?
Green.
Green. Then roll number 3 was green again. So we're going to pick another card. Presley actually already has them ready over here because he's so excited to pick one. Can I have them? They're a little bit mixed up because he was holding them, but I'm going to again shuffle a little bit so that he can pick a card.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you ready? Okay.
Yeah.
Which card? Pick a card, please. You gotta pick one. Show me which one. Pick one.
This one.
The one on top again. Okay, can you get it? Oh, pick it up and then show the camera. Show the camera. Oh, going so slow. It's a book less than 300 pages. Okay, that should also be very doable.
300.
300. Okay, and so for this one, I had to scroll a little bit on Goodreads because that's the easiest way for me to figure out what the page numbers are for these books because they're all ebooks. But I wanted to find one that I had already had like on a list of books that I wanted to read. So the one that I'm picking for this is going to be Once Stolen by D.N. Bryn. This is a sequel, sort of, mostly companion novel set in the same world type of book to the Our Bloody Pearl book that I read last Indie Accords. Absolutely loved, 5 out of 5 stars. This was actually another option for the 5-star prediction because I feel like I'm just going to love this book so much, especially since I read a short story by this author called A Better Fate earlier this year. Also gave that 5 out of 5 stars, even though I don't usually love short stories all that much, but I'm super excited. So this is going to be set in the same world. It is going to have lots of different diversity in it. I know Our Bloody Pearl that I read last time time had like asexuality in it, and we also had like disabilities and people of color and like just so much stuff in there, non-binary stuff. So I'm expecting this one to be very similar in that fact, with like a lot of good representation, especially since our author is non-binary as well. And so yes, I'm very excited. Like I mentioned, this one also could be done for the 5-star prediction, but I'm going to be putting it in for the prompt of less than 200 reviews, because even though this did come out sometime last year, there are less than 200 reviews on Goodreads. Actually, at the time of filming this, there are currently 47 reviews and 75 ratings. So I definitely do want to read this and review it. I'm very, very excited because we're going to have like sirens and that kind of stuff in it. It's going to be a very fantasy heavy sort of book, but I also remember from the first book it being sort of dark fantasy, so I'm excited. Okay, Presley roll. What color?
Red.
Red. Then for roll number 4, we ended up with a red, which means, thank you, Presley, we're gonna do red cards to determine who is going to help me pick a book. Okay, I shuffled these. I don't know what's on the top or the bottom. He's probably gonna pick the top again. You wanna sit on the floor? You can sit on the floor, but you gotta pick a card first. Which one?
This one.
Oh, come over here. Which one?
This one.
Okay, pick it and then show the camera. Show the camera. He always raises it up so slow. It is a viewer pick. Perfect. Viewer pick. Okay, so what this means is I did make a video 2 months ago, a month and a half ago, something like that, in time for last month's TBR video, where I ended up showing you all of the books on my ebook TBR, and I had you guys comment what books I needed to read. Now, I am going to be looking for indie books or self-published books from the comments that you guys gave me. I'm going to do a random comment generator, but I'm hoping that whatever comment pops up is going to have indie or self-published books in there, especially because with my ebooks, most of them that aren't like comics or manga that I got off of like Humble Bundle, they should be indie or self-published. So, okay, so our first option did not have anything that was actually an indie or self-published book, so we're going to try again. Okay, so we do have a comment now that is from Cardamom Tati. I hope I pronounced that correctly. And it says, coming in with random scrolls. So they had a couple different comments. One was stuff that they had read before, and one was ones that they had not, but looked interesting. And they actually have 3 different options here. One is Shoot the Messenger, one is A Condition Called Love, and one is The Longing of Lone Wolves, which we have already picked. So that means we have 2 books to choose from, because I'm pretty sure both of them actually, no, I think A Condition Called Love is a manga that is from Kodansha. So I'm going to double check, but I think that means we're going to be going with Shoot the Messenger. Okay, yes, so I was correct. A Condition Called Love is a manga from Kodansha, so that is not indie or self-published. So we are going with Shoot the Messenger by Pippa DaCosta. This one also looks sci-fi-ish from what I can see here. It is a reverse harem space fantasy. I know some people have been iffy with the reverse harem label recently, so it could also just be like a poly romance type of space fantasy, and I don't remember much about this because I probably got this for sale or for free years ago. So in the Hollow system, one of Earth's 3 sister star systems, Tech and Magic, Humans and Fae, are at war. Cash Lasoda is a ghost in the machine. Invisible to Tech, she's hired by the criminal underworld to carry illegal messages through the Hollow system. But when one of those messages kills its recipient, Cash finds herself on the run with a bounty on her head and a quick-witted marshal on her tail. Okay, so this should have some romance in it, obviously, but it is definitely going to be sci-fi, and it has a criminal underworld, so I'm very intrigued by this. And now, I did not have this on my bingo board, but we do have an option of reading a book in a different format, for example, audio or ebook. I'm going to be reading everything in ebook, but normally I read a majority of books in physical form, so I'm going to count this for that because I am going to be reading the ebook version. And I do feel like because I normally do physical, this should count.
Mommy,
Okay, one more. Ready? Ooh. What color?
orange.
Orange. And then for roll number 5, we received an orange, which means we are going into the TBR bucket, which is this here. Bucket. I have not actually updated stuff in here in a little while, which is my bad, but I do have ebooks and indie books and all that kind of stuff in here. So we're gonna open this up. We're gonna see how long it takes us to get an indie or self-published book, but that's what we're gonna do. Papers. We're gonna shake them up a little bit. You wanna help shake? Okay, you hit the camera, so you gotta be careful. Okay, let's see. Reaching in, I have a green one. Oh, and it is Blood Trial by Kelly St. Clair. You gonna show? Okay, you show. Oh, gotta turn around. There we go. Blood Trial by Kelly St. Clair. So this one actually works out interestingly for me because one of the options that I had for a different prompt was a different book by Kelly St. Clair. I was planning on potentially reading Love and Curse Making, which is one of her newest books, for the author from a different country prompt. Because Kelly St. Clair, I think, was originally from New Zealand but currently lives in Australia. I'm in the States, so obviously they're from a different country than me. But I do have a different book, obviously, Blood Trial by Kelly St. Clair. So I think that's what I'm going to be using this one for. It'll be for the read an author from a different country prompt. And this one is going to have vampires in it. I don't know much else about it. I do believe it is romance because Kelly St. Clair does write like fantasy romance stuff. So yeah, that's what we're going with. Okay, so those are going to be the 5 rolls that we did, but now I want to finish up this bingo board that we have so that I have options of books to read. So we do have Read a Host Favorite. I will be reading Longing of Lone Wolves. We do have Read an Author from a Different Country. I will be reading Blood Trial. I do not have something currently for Read a Book for the Cover. I had a couple different options for this. So I think what I'm going to pick is Freestyle by B. Page. The reason I'm picking this one is the other options that I had fall more into the fantasy romance or sci-fi romance categories, whereas this one is more of a contemporary romance, I'm pretty sure, with dancing. I got this one, I think, last year for a sale price, something like that, and I'm very curious about it. I do absolutely love the cover. Like, I do think it fits very, very well with the title and what this book is supposed to be about, which is, I think, like a college dance academy sort of thing. This one might also be a reverse harem romance or poly romance. I'm not entirely sure, but I do love the cover, so this definitely fits. Then I do have Read a Book in a Different Format because I'll be reading an ebook. The middle space on this bingo board is to leave a review on an indie book. During the Indie Accords especially, I try to leave a review for every book that I read, but you have to do at least one in order to check off that space. Then I do have a book for a 5-star prediction, which is going to be Renegade Love. I also have Read a Book with under 200 reviews. I'm going to use Once Stolen for that. The next prompt we need to complete is to read a book with a black, white, red, or blue cover. Now obviously some of the books I already have picked can fit for this prompt because I definitely have like Longing of Lone Wolves is blue. I want to say the Blood Trial, I don't have it currently pulled up, but there is probably red on that, I'm assuming. So I think I have things, but I'm going to pick a book. And for that one, I'm going to be picking Criminal Intentions Book 2, Junk Shop Blues by Cole McCade. So this one I don't actually own on ebook, but I do have it checked out currently through Kindle Unlimited, which is a great place to find indie and self-published books because a lot of authors have their books through Kindle Unlimited. And this one, I do believe is supposed to have romance eventually in this series, but it's mostly an LGBTQ, like, criminal procedural. Like, the books are set up like episode 2 of season 1. So it is in a series, but it's set up like a TV show. So each book is going to have a different crime that is being solved. I read the first one last year, really enjoyed it. The first book in this series is about like gay college students, I believe, being murdered, and our 2 detectives are also members of the LGBTQ. I believe they're both gay. I could be mistaken, maybe somebody is bi, but I'm pretty sure they are both gay. But yes, it is very dark. The first book especially gets into like the blood and the gore, and I think there was some dismemberment in there as well. But I really liked the characterization that we had. We also have a very diverse cast of characters, and so this is the second, called Junk Shop Blues, and it says, about this episode, a murdered nightclub mogul unlocks a web of infidelity and deceit. The most likely suspect, the daughter of the richest family in Baltimore. If only detectives Malcolm Kalaji and Seong Jae-yoon can piece the evidence together. Those are the 2 detectives that we're following. I'm pretty sure those are the 2 that are going to end up in a relationship eventually. I do also like the fact that because they're detectives, I believe they're all like in their late 30s, early 40s, so they are an older cast of characters. And yeah, I think with all the romance that I'm planning on reading this month, a darker one that I haven't heard anybody in the Discord talk about actually should be a good option. Okay, and the last prompt that we have here is to read a diverse book. Now, this diversity could literally be anything that is like outside of the norm for what you see with books. So if we have people of color as main characters, or a person of color author that is writing the book, LGBTQ, mental illness, physical illness, disabilities, that kind of stuff, like anything like that will work. And I want to say for a lot of the things that I picked, I'm sure they are diverse as well. So like, I know Once Stolen is probably going to be very diverse based on Our Bloody Pearl. I know for a fact Junk Shop Blues is going to be very diverse, but I want to pick one more book for this specifically, just in case I want to read something else. And so for this one, I think I'm going to go with Sweet Hand by N.G. Peltier. So this is going to be a book that is written by a person of color author and also has people of color in here. I believe both actually the author and the main characters are Black. And from Goodreads, it also looks like there might be some sort of LGBTQ element in here as well. But this is supposed to be a very cute contemporary romance that I've been wanting to pick up and I just haven't yet. I do have it on ebook, obviously. And basically it's going to be about a woman who is a pastry chef and has basically sworn off of men because of, I think, a cheating ex-boyfriend, and then romance is going to bloom between her and some other guy. I've heard some good things about this. I've heard it's very cute, and I don't think I have any like super cute books on this list that are contemporary, because I think that the couple contemporary I picked are probably going to be a little bit more angsty or murdery. So yeah, I think that's the one that I'm going to go with. Okay, and so that is everything for the Indie Accords TBR. I will leave all the information for the Indie Accords down below as well. But when we come back next month, I will talk about the 5 books that I did for the rolls, even though technically I think we have, what, like 8 books here, because I needed to fill out the rest of the bingo board. Again, for this readathon, we can double and or triple up or anything that we need to do to get the prompts done, which might be what I end up doing because of the fact that I'll have a newborn, like literally a newborn, the whole month of July. So yeah, wish me luck. I think I'm gonna need it. And that is going to be it for today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up to let me know. Subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more videos. I do have videos up on Thursdays right now, so I will see you then. Bye.